righty, all righty. So I think it's pretty awesome that so many people are interested in day trading. Just people that I know who never talked to them about it, never, had a conversation with them about it. And people text me since I've started doing this. Um, People have started texting me and they're interested in doing it. They want to get started. They don't know where to get started. And I can tell you right now, I'm not a financial advisor at all. Um, y'all are watching me lose as much as I win. So what's going on here? But I think it's pretty awesome that there's a lot of people who are interested in how to get started. Um, and I can explain a little bit of the ways that I got started, and that may help some people kind of get over the hump and get started. So the first thing that I did was I started on Robinhood, which I do not recommend doing. Robinhood is not for day trading. Robinhood is for investing simply. You can day trade with Robinhood. I do not recommend it. It's not made for that. Um, so after I fooled around with Robinhood for a while, I still have a Robinhood account and I just invest in Bitcoin on there. But the first thing that I did when I actually started wanting to do day trading was I downloaded the webull um, desktop version onto my laptop, and the webull is made m- very simply. It's not as confusing as like TD Ameritrade or Thinkorswim or Charles Schwab. I've used those two, and they're a little more confusing. Webull is pretty simplified. It's pretty user friendly. So I recommend using Webull. And then once you have the Webull desktop downloaded, there's an option where you don't have to trade your money. You can do paper money, where you basically have like monopoly money in your account and you can just trade with that. And there's no risk to you. You don't have to pay for it. It's 100% free, and just basically practice. It's with live charts, just like we're looking at every single day. Um, but it takes away the risk. And I would thoroughly recommend doing that for a while. I did that for several months before I actually put my money into it and started trading. Um, if you just start out not knowing what you're doing and you put money in and start trading your money, you will be one of the 96% of people who lose their money in the stock market. Only 4% of people that day trade actually make a profit. So I really recommend that you don't just throw your money in the stock market unless you're investing. If you're investing long term, then yeah, absolutely put in as much as you can. Um, but as far as day trading, I would not just jump into that without having a lot of practice. Um, Day trading is also the reason I got into it is because A, I wanted to have a second stream of income. And two, or B, um, you can completely teach yourself how to do this through YouTube videos, um, books, ebooks. There's several accounts on YouTube that are awesome that go step by step by step on different techniques, different strategies, how to read VWAP lines, how to read candles, how to read volume. You have to have a basic knowledge of how to read candles. You have to have a basic knowledge of what an EMA line is, what a VWAP line is. You have to be able to look at volume. Um, and then after that, just finding the strategy that makes sense to you that works. Um, it's that simple. Now, one of the main questions that I keep getting is, all right, well, where do you find the stocks that you want to trade each day? So I use a gap and go strategy, which is the one that makes the most sense to me. It may not make sense to you, it may not resonate with you at all, but it makes sense to me. So day trading is all about capturing positive percentages in it changing stocks. So when a stock goes up 10%, we want to gain as many of those percentages as possible. So we want to trade as low as possible, sell as high as possible, and capture those gains. So most stocks in the stock market, like Google, Tesla, the big name stocks, they don't move much. They may move at the most 5% per day. Usually it's around 1 or 2%. And they're kind of steady. They're very steady stocks. So I don't mess with those because it's very hard to gain, say, 10% on a stock that's only moving 2% per day. Now, the stocks that I look at are stocks that in the pre-market, so I have this little tab over here, and it's the top gainers in the pre-market. So it's which stocks are growing the most just in pre-market. All right. So for instance, this stock, TGL, it's up 193% this morning, just this morning, pre-market. Well, if a stock is going up 193%, don't you think we stand a much better chance of catching 10% of that rather than a stock that's not going up but 1 or 2%? So in my head, I think, okay, if it's going up that much, um, pre-market, I feel pretty good about being able to capture some of that percentage. Also, a lot of reasons these stocks go up that much in pre-market is because they have big news, like a pharmaceutical company might have gotten approved for a drug, or this monkeypox thing is going around. Well, they're coming out with vaccines and stuff that raises prices of companies. AI has different stuff going on where they're growing. Anytime a company gets big news, people buy into it and then it explodes. So that's what I look for. I mean, it's different stocks every single day. It's almost never the same stocks. I almost never trade the same stocks twice because each day is something different, which I like. I don't want to get stuck trading the same stuff every single day. Some people do it and some people make a lot of money doing it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Um, and that is because I'm not the smartest cookie out there. But what I do know how to do is this strategy that I use every day. Now, once I find my stock that's going up, one, I like for it to be trading above this yellow line, which is the VWAP line. I want it to trade above that line. So this one right here is below the line right now. It's below, but it does have an opportunity of going up and getting above there. Once it's above, I can consider trading it. And then there's different strategies that I use, like for instance, let's find a good one to show you. Oh wow, what is going on here? All right, don't jump in just because. I'm bad about jumping in just because it doesn't have any news yet. So we're not gonna trade that. Oh, I hate not jumping in. Bothers me so bad. See, volume is high. It's pushing up. Oh man. But why? Oh, these stocks scare me because you jump in up here and it'll sell down to here in a heartbeat. All right, so let's keep talking about it. So for instance, this stock here, we're trading below the VWAP line, the yellow line. The daily high for pre-market so far is right here at $12.31. What I like to look for is for this for my candles to work themselves up and start to break above this previous high. Okay? If it will break this previous high, about 70% of the time it'll continue running upward. It doesn't have to at all. It can drop back down and you can lose money. But more more than 50% of the time, which is as good as it's going to get in the stock market, as long as it's more than 50% of the time, you have a chance of making good money when that happens. So in the market, there are resistance lines. So for instance, this VWAP line is a resistance line. This will bounce around. See how this is bouncing around at the resistance line? It kind of resists going above it. But once it finally does break above it, now we're growing. We're going up. Once it breaks resistance, its next resistance line is up here where the previous high of the day was. So there's all this room to grow, but it has to break that line first. Man, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Oh yeah, they got a drug out for Alzheimer's disease. They're good. They're good. Let's go. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do here. Let's gain some money here. Come on. Let's go ahead and get up here. Let's go ahead and get up here. I'm in right here. I'm going to sell quick. I'm not going to stay in this long. I don't want to lose my money. All right, so mm, 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 mm. All right, it's buying up. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Good, good. Keep going. Keep going. All right, so we are up $139. I'll sell it. I'll take it. It's pretty good start to the morning. Not too bad. Not too bad. So first trade, 740. All right, now, so we're getting this pullback. Let's get rid of this line here. So I'm up. My goal each day is $200 per day. Um, and so far I'm up about $800, and it's the start of the day on Tuesday. So I don't want to take many risks. I'm already close to my weekly goal on Tuesday. I don't want to do anything crazy. So I still don't see. Okay, here we go. So this is why it's running up. They've got an oral formula for Alzheimer's disease. These pharmaceutical companies are always working on these drugs, and whenever they get approval from like the FDA or whoever, um, they always run. Um, the only thing that scares me about this one is, and why we have to be really careful, is it's below $1, so it's at 46 cents right now. Now, and it's already up 216% on the day. That is a lot. So we don't want to, we don't want to, it's going to pull back at some point. So what you don't want to do is just say, well, it's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep going. It doesn't have to just keep. All right, I'm back in right there. So I'm not a huge fan of these two candles because they have tails at the top. That means they bought down. That's not ideal, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to go up. It's just we have to watch it carefully. I do like that our volume is growing green. See how it's growing? It's getting bigger green. And this one's working now. So it'll probably end up here or it will end red. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. All right. My new average is there. Let's get ready to sell it. I don't want to sit on this too long. All right, let's buy up. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Good job. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Sell. All right. Boom. Another trade up $347. Awesome. Good work. Good work. Good work. Good work. So I've reached my weekly goal and it is 7:45 on Tuesday morning. It's not too shabby.